Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Walz, you stated in your opening statement the following: but nothing Minnesota has done stands in the way of federal government managing its border security policy.
Okay.
Governor, I want to ask you, why are you lying to this committee?
I am not
Who's the top law
Congressman.
enforcement officer in the state of Minnesota?
the top law enforcement
Yep.
officer. Attorney General.
Yeah, that's right. What's his name? What's his name?
Are you asking me, do
Yep.
you know his name?
Do you know his name? Do you know his name?
I know the AG Ellison.
This is an article right here I'd like to submit for the record. Minnesota AG says will not enforce federal immigration laws as DOJ threatens to prosecute officials who resist.
Without objection, so ordered.
Why are you lying to this committee? That is the top law enforcement officer in your state who's saying he will not comply with the federal government.
Nothing in his opinion changes the fact that state law requires all state and county officials to ask for immigration status when a convicted felon is
No,
committed.
I'm sorry, Governor. He is saying he will not comply with federal laws. That's your top law
Nothing in this
enforcement
opinion
officer.
changes how
You're
he-
lying and misrepresenting yourself to this committee. Now I want to ask you this. Do you think in that line of questioning, free health care, food assistance, free college tuition, driver's licenses, and cash assistance, do you think that that's helping or hurting this government manage its border security and policies?
Well, Minnesota ranks first in health care. We rank third in
Let
safety on
me
our roads.
answer that for you. It's actually hurting because what
It's
you've
making my state
created
safer
is
and more
you've created a
prosperous.
state that is now a magnet that is
There's
drawing
no law.
illegals
There is no sanctuary
to
law in
Minnesota.
Minnesota, Congressman.
I know you guys haven't put it that way on the books, but your state has everything, every element in it that is consistent with the sanctuary state.
That's
Moving
incorrect.
on, Mr. Walz. How about you calling ICE agents modern-day Gestapo? That also stands, do you think that that helps our federal government carry out its law enforcement?
I think best
border
practices in law
security
enforcement by
policies?
identifying who you are, identifying the vehicles, and making sure everyone has due process helps our law enforcement. I think covering your faces.
So you think that
rolling in there-
you think that that helps, calling our law enforcement agents that, what does ICE stand for, Governor? Immigration, Custom, Enforcement, right? These are the guys that are tasked with enforcing immigration, federal
That's right,
immigration laws?
federal, that's their job. It's
So
not
you
the
think that
state's job.
calling them Gestapo is helping? You're not standing in the way. None of the messaging, none of the rhetoric is standing in the way of this administration doing what they've been tasked to do. Is that what you're saying?
I think what would help them is to follow due process, and when they do these missions, do the things that we expect of law enforcement.
How about when you
Identify
went on
yourself.
Anderson Cooper, Governor Walz, and you said, how high is this wall? If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in a 30-foot ladder factory. Do you think that that helps our federal government carry out its law enforcement, its border security and policy operations?
When did I say that?
You went on Anderson Cooper and said that.
I-
Do you not remember saying that?
I-
Because you've said so many outlandish things that you
No, I
can't
don't
even keep
recall.
track of them?
The point being is.
The
that you
clip
need
is there
more
for
enforcement.
everybody. It's there for all Americans. If you guys want to go watch it, it's an easy Google. All right, Governor, you recently went on Gavin Newsom's podcast. You stated in regards to MAGA voters, I scare them a little bit, which is why they spend so much time on me. No, I'm serious because they know I can fix a truck. That's your direct quote. You also said on the show, I think I could kick most of their asses. I want to be very clear with you, Governor. You do scare us a bit, but it's not because you can fix a truck or change a tire. It's actually because of your radical left-wing agenda. You supported putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. You advocated for the disarming of Americans of their Second Amendment rights. You're pro-sanctuary city, as we have uncovered here today. You claim there is no guarantee to free speech when it comes to misinformation and hate speech. That right there is why the American people have such a hard time with you. It's not because we're crazy MAGA people. It's because of your radical left-wing agenda. I want to ask you on that last one where you claim there's no guarantee to free speech. Did you pick that up on one of your 30 trips to communist China, Governor? That sounds a lot like something that they would do. Yes or no?
So I don't believe hate speech
Okay.
has a place in there. Hate speech that incites violence.
Governor Walz, you said that Kamala Harris picked you for vice president to code talk to white guys. How did that work out for this administration? How well did you do with white guys?
I don't have the
You
data.
lost by 22 points to white guys. And it's because you talk like the way you do, you say the things you do, and you have this radical left-wing ideology. So if you want to continue that rhetoric, Go on, brother. Keep doing it. We'll keep destroying you in elections.
And the
Thank
people
you,
of
and I
Minnes-
yield back.
The people of Minnesota will continue to have me serve them.
Chair recognizes Mr. Ramirez.
Let's set the stage for what can only be described as an absolute masterclass in political accountability. A searing, unforgettable moment where the polished facade of a prominent political figure was systematically deconstructed under the relentless pressure of hard facts and unyielding scrutiny. The atmosphere in the hearing room crackled with undeniable tension the second Congressman Eli Crane took the microphone, fixing his gaze on Governor Tim Walz and immediately cutting through the bureaucratic noise to deliver a legendary, jaw-dropping opening strike. Crane did not mince words, pointing directly to Walz's opening statement, claiming that Minnesota was supposedly doing absolutely nothing to stand in the way of federal border security, before looking the governor dead in the eye and asking the ultimate chilling question. Governor, why are you lying to this committee? It was a rhetorical earthquake that left Walz looking entirely like a deer caught in the blinding headlights of reality, stumbling to find his footing as Crane relentlessly pressed the advantage, demanding that the governor name the top law enforcement officer in his own state. As Walz hesitated and stuttered through his response, Crane expertly dropped an undeniable, devastating receipt squarely onto the congressional record, producing an official, damning article that explicitly exposed Minnesota's own attorney general, openly declaring his outright refusal to enforce federal immigration laws. When Walz weakly attempted to spin the narrative and claim that everything was operating within the bounds of the law, Crane instantly shut down the deflection, securing a total, undeniable round-one knockout before smoothly shifting his intense cross-examination toward the radical, taxpayer-funded luxury benefits package that Walz has institutionalized across Minnesota. Crane passionately detailed the staggering list of taxpayer-funded incentives, ranging from free, comprehensive health care and fully funded college tuition to readily available driver's licenses and direct cash assistance, all of which are being handed on a silver platter to non-citizens who actively bypass the legal immigration system to enter the country. With razor-sharp precision, the congressman rightly pointed out that these exorbitant benefits have effectively transformed the state into an irresistible, glowing magnet for illegal immigration, implicitly building a sprawling sanctuary state while cowardly attempting to hide behind crafty, politically sanitized wording. When Walz desperately tried to pivot the conversation, attempting to brag about his state's generic healthcare rankings to deflect from the undeniable border crisis he helped fuel, Crane decisively shut him down faster than a failing Wi-Fi signal, proving once again that you absolutely cannot hide from the cold. Hard data when Eli Crane commands the floor. But the fierce accountability session did not stop there, as Crane prepared to bring out the heavy political hitters, turning his focus to the governor's deeply disturbing historical rhetoric, specifically confronting Walz for his shameful decision to label hardworking, dedicated ICE agents as a modern-day Gestapo. Crane rightfully highlighted just how profoundly insulting and deeply offensive that comparison is to the brave federal officers who risk their lives daily to protect our vulnerable communities, completely exposing the dangerous, radical rhetoric flowing straight from the governor's office. Refusing to let Walz catch his breath, Crane immediately reminded the silent room of the governor's infamous, wildly out-of-touch CNN appearance, where he flippantly joked on national television about buying a 30-foot ladder factory to defeat border walls, treating the dire security of the American homeland like a cheap late-night punchline. Yet, Crane brilliantly saved the absolute best, most devastating reality check for last, pivoting to quote Walz's bizarre, macho brag on Gavin Newsom's podcast where the governor claimed he could physically kick most MAGA voters' asses. Crane laughed off the absurd posturing and delivered a legendary room-silencing dose of reality, making it crystal clear that hardworking Americans are not intimidated by Walz's fake tough guy persona. Rather, they are utterly horrified by his extreme, out-of-touch, radical left-wing agenda. From fiercely pushing to install tampons in boys' bathrooms to aggressively trying to restrict the fundamental right to free speech under the slippery guise of combating misinformation, Crane methodically exposed the true radicalism at the heart of the governor's administration. He even dropped a spectacularly hilarious cutting zinger that left the room reeling, boldly asking if Walz had picked up those authoritarian censorship ideas during one of his famous, highly scrutinized 30 trips to communist China. Finally, Crane forcefully closed the lid on this epic congressional roast by bringing the argument back to undeniable electoral data, revealing the hard, unvarnished truth that Walz lost the white male voting demographic by a massive, staggering 22-point margin, simply because everyday, patriotic Americans are completely sick and tired of having this radical, destructive ideology forced into their daily lives. If you loved watching Eli Crane confidently and unapologetically stand up for common-sense American values while completely dismantling left-wing hypocrisy in real time, smash that subscribe button right now, drop a like, share this incredibly powerful video with everyone you know, and leave a fiery comment below to let me know your absolute favorite part of this epic, unforgettable political roast as we keep fighting relentlessly for the truth.